Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of Universe Mode here on the Planet Clutch YouTube channel. Today we have our first episode of SmackDown Live, and there is quite a card in store, as we will see momentarily. Alright, and we are going to kick things off here with a fatal four-way for the Hardcore Championship. And the first contestant here making his way to the ring, The Big Show. The Big Show, of course, a veteran of professional wrestling. He's been in both WWE and WCW, and he knows what it takes to win this type of Extreme Rules hardcore matchup. So given his immense size and his experience, he has to be considered a heavy favorite in this matchup. And this guy, perhaps the wild card in it all, Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt, of course, former leader of the Wyatt family. There hasn't been too many characters in the history of WWE with a creepy aura surrounding them like Bray Wyatt has. As you see him carrying the lantern to the ring, the fans displaying their lights as fireflies. This guy is creepy. You never know what could be inside of the mind of Bray Wyatt. It should be interesting to see exactly how Bray fares in the Extreme Rules matchup here tonight. Not necessarily known for a hardcore background, but he would certainly like to establish himself early on here in Universe Mode. Bray Wyatt was selected with the final pick in the first round, number 30 overall, by Triple H. So obviously Triple H has a lot of faith in Bray Wyatt and would certainly like to see his pick capture the Hardcore Championship here tonight. And a relative newcomer to this professional wrestling scene, Lars Sullivan. Lars, of course, spent all of his time under previous regime in NXT, so Triple H obviously knows what he has in Lars Sullivan. Lars, another large athlete like the Big Show, and he's not afraid to get his hands dirty, so maybe this Extreme Rules hardcore type of match can really fit into his style of wrestling. Lars Sullivan, of course, would love to make a statement here. He's coming in here as the obvious underdog, but given his pure size and strength, I think that he could take this Hardcore Championship here tonight. And my personal favorite to win it all here tonight, Dean Ambrose. Dean, of course, another high pick of Triple H in the recent draft. And the Lunatic Fringe. He has never shied away from the hardcore style here in his early career. And you can bet that he would love to capture this Hardcore Championship here tonight. And we are about to get things underway here. As the ref raises the title above his head, we see the four combatants here ready to go. We have the Big Show, Bray Wyatt, Lars Sullivan, and Dean Ambrose. And this match is underway, and we will start as Bray Wyatt with a crossbody taking Dean Ambrose down, and on the other side, Big Show with a large suplex. Lars Sullivan crashing into the mat. Crossbody by Dean Ambrose, followed up by a fury of punches, and Bray Wyatt is down. early in this matchup. On the other side, we see Big Show now attempting to throw Lars Sullivan over the top rope. Dean now trying to get a German suplex. Reversed by the Big Show. Big Show now has Dean on the second rope. Oh, and he's just shoving that knee into the back of Dean Ambrose. Bray Wyatt now looking to get some offense in. Big uppercut to the Big Show, but the Big Show follows up with a thunderous right, and he tosses Bray over the top rope, tumbling to the outside. Lars Sullivan and Dean Ambrose inside the ring now with Big Show. Oh, and Lars attempting to climb to the top rope, but he's knocked down by Dean Ambrose. And on the other side, we see Big Show delivering a thunderous suplex to Bray Wyatt and a Russian leg sweep from Dean Ambrose to Lars Sullivan. Big Show now tossing Bray Wyatt back into the ring. However, Bray to his feet. Bray going for a punch. Oh, but he's picked up by the Big Show with a large overhead toss. Bray Wyatt grabbing onto his back. And back on the outside we have Dean Ambrose and Lars Sullivan. Dean now throwing the head of Lars Sullivan into the apron. Bray Wyatt on the other side looks to be going for a weapon here. And he elects to go with a ladder. And he's waiting for the Big Show to get out. Watch out, Big Show. Oh, and the ladder delivered to the left arm, the right arm rather, of the Big Show. On the other side now we see Lars Sullivan grabbing a steel chair. What does Lars have in mind? Slides into the ring. I really thought he was going to go for Dean Ambrose there, but it seems as though he's turned his attention to the Big Show. And they will go toe-to-toe in the ring now. Lars Sullivan, oh, and he lifts Big Show. Big Show rolls outside of the ring. Dean Ambrose now targeting Bray Wyatt on the outside. Oh, and a big knee to the chin of Bray Wyatt. And another Russian leg sweep as Lars Sullivan goes crashing into the outside mat. Lars now, oh, and a headbutt. Seems to have knocked Dean off balance, but Dean able to regain and toss Lars into the ring. However, Bray Wyatt now looking for a pump handle slam. Oh, and Dean Ambrose slammed into the ground. Bray now with a nice punch to the midsection. And on the inside we see Big Show hook the leg going for a pin. Count of two. Oh, but Bray Wyatt able to get in and break up the pin at 2. And he elects to take down the Big Show. You see Bray Wyatt now working the neck of Big Show. But Dean Ambrose coming in. Oh, and a kick followed to an elbow to the midsection. Dean now picking up the ladder. Dean hits Big Show, going for number 2. But Big Show able to take the ladder and a thunderous clothesline as Dean Ambrose rolls to the outside. Lars Sullivan now knocking down the Big Show. And everyone is down besides Lars Sullivan. He rolls to the outside, chasing the Big Show. Big Show, though, able to overpower Lars Sullivan, just tossing him aside like a rag doll. Taking out the legs of the Big Show there. And it's probably a good strategy. And Bray Wyatt following up by trying to take out the legs of Lars Sullivan. But Lars able to reverse and toss Bray into the ring. Big Show now back into the ring, followed by Dean Ambrose. Ambrose attacking Big Show from behind, looking for some dirty deeds. Oh, and the Big Show has been busted open. Dean Ambrose, could this be it? Oh, but Lars Sullivan breaks up the pin before it can even begin. Lars now going for a suplex on Dean Ambrose. Oh, and Dean Ambrose, I believe his leg may have made contact with the ladder. And we see Lars Sullivan going for the top rope, but he is caught by Bray Wyatt. What could Bray Wyatt have in mind here? An overhead slam from the top. Oh, and I believe that may have broken up the pin as Lars Sullivan rolls to the outside. Wyatt now tossing Ambrose to the outside, looking to capitalize here. Slams the Big Show into the corner. What could we see here? Bray Wyatt appears to be taking his time with the Big Show. And that may come back to haunt him as we see Dean Ambrose beginning to regather and make his way to his feet. Dean Ambrose back into the ring. And in comes Lars Sullivan as well, as all 4 members of this matchup back into the ring. Lars now has Dean Ambrose up. Oh, and a big slam. Lars Sullivan now, hook of the leg, going for a pin. But Big Show, with great ring awareness, able to break up that count before it even begins. Big Show now reversed by Lars Sullivan. But Big Show able to regain momentum here. Lars Sullivan attempting to take the Big Show out of the ring here. And it looks as though it is just Lars and Dean Ambrose remaining in the ring. Dean Ambrose steals the ladder from Lars. Oh, and he hits him in the side. And look, he is now working on the legs of Lars Sullivan. A great strategy considering that the majority of power of Lars Sullivan lays within those legs. Lars Sullivan now going for another top rope maneuver. Oh, but he's caught by the Big Show. Big Show now re-entering the ring. Oh, and a Sister Abigail delivered to Dean Ambrose. I think Dean may have landed on the ladder. And once again, Big Show able to break up the pin count before it can even begin. Big Show now has Bray in a... Oh, and a knockout punch. Bray Wyatt falls face first into the ladder, going for a pin, but it's broken up by Dean Ambrose. Dean now looking for a suplex. Dean suplexes the Big Show. Could he go for a pin here? Hooks the leg. Here we go. Oh, and Dean Ambrose picks up the win off of a suplex delivered to the Big Show. And you have it, folks, your inaugural hardcore champion, Dean Ambrose. Of course, a lot of hard-hitting maneuvers in this matchup. Not a whole lot of weapons in use. For the most part, it was only the ladder. We've seen Lars Sullivan grab the chair, and here you see Dean Ambrose goes head first into the ladder. I'm surprised he was able to recuperate from that. And there's the knockout punch. Bray going face first into the ladder. And you know Dean Ambrose has to love this. This is his MO. The Lunatic Fringe is your hardcore champion here on SmackDown. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the other matches on the card. Billie Kay and Peyton Royce defeating Natalya and Naomi. We see Ricochet picking up a victory over Matt Riddle. And 2 big matches here as Shinsuke Nakamura defeats Rey Mysterio, Finn Balor, and Andrade Cien Almas. Kevin Owens defeating Xavier Woods, Seth Rollins, and EC3. Those 2 matches very important as Shinsuke Nakamura will now face off against Kevin Owens next week for the United States Championship. And in our other matches tonight, we will see Alexa Bliss, Rhonda Rousey, and Becky Lynch go head to head for the Women's Championship here on SmackDown. And of course, our main event, we have Dolph Ziggler and Drew McINTYRE taking on the Bar for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships. That should be an exciting matchup, but first, let's check in on the triple threat match for the Women's Championship. Here we go now, triple threat for the Women's Championship. And first, we have Alexa Bliss. She has been a standout in the women's division for the last couple of years, and she would love to make a big impact here tonight in Universe Mode by becoming the inaugural Women's Champion here on SmackDown Live. Alexa Bliss was the 34th overall pick in the draft and the second woman taken by SmackDown, of course, behind Ronda Rousey. And she would love nothing more than to take a victory over Rousey and Becky Lynch here tonight. And here we have her, the former UFC Women's Champion. the baddest woman on the planet, Rowdy Rhonda Rousey. Rousey, of course, dominated the UFC for years, and she is looking to bring her success from the Ultimate Fighting Championship to WWE and looking to become the women's champion here on SmackDown. And here we have the Irish last kicker, Becky Lynch. Becky, of course, seemingly stuck in the mid-card under the previous regime. She would love to make an impact and become the top of the women's division here on SmackDown. And that could possibly happen here tonight. Triple H obviously putting a lot of faith in Becky. She was selected number 35 and the third female superstar picked by Triple H here on SmackDown Live. And we are about to get this match started. Of course, when the draft took place, all championships were vacated, so there is no current holder of the Women's Championship. And that is going to change tonight. Alexa Bliss, Rhonda Rousey, Becky Lynch. Let's go. Women's Championship. And here we go. Alexa going for Becky, but intercepted by Rhonda Rousey. Rhonda now going for Becky. Some thunderous punches hitting Becky into the corner. Becky now. Oh, and she is tossed into the ring post. Shoulder first. And Alexa Bliss from behind, looking to drop kick Rhonda Rousey. But Rhonda picking up Alexa Bliss with a scoop slam. Oh, and she has some kind of headlock locked in here. Oh, but Alexa Bliss able to battle out. Rousey now, big right. Oh, and a big kick as Alexa Bliss falters. Oh, and Rhonda clotheslining Becky into the corner. Rhonda Rousey in complete control of this matchup here in the early going for a pin on Becky. Oh, but Becky able to kick out after just one. Alexa Bliss now to her feet, punching Rhonda Rousey in the face and now in the back of the head. Oh, and a Hurricanrana sends Rhonda Rousey rolling out of the ring. And now we see Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss going toe-to-toe. Oh, and a big right to the face of Becky Lynch. But Becky able to sidestep the dropkick. Bliss. Oh, and a clothesline sending Becky Lynch crashing to the floor. Bliss now from the top rope. Oh, but she's caught from behind by Rhonda Rousey. Rhonda now with a reverse superplex. Alexa Bliss sent crashing into the mat. And she is in a world of danger here. But Becky Lynch able to get back in the ring. Rhonda Rousey now. Oh, what a spinning Samoan drop. Becky Lynch, though, getting some revenge on Rhonda here for the early beating that she took. Becky with Rhonda in the corner. Oh, and she is in the tree of woe now. And a kick to the face sends Rhonda crashing to the mat. Alexa, though, looking to regain some momentum here. Slamming Becky Lynch into the mat. Becky seems to be rolling, and she does roll to the outside here. Alexa sizing up Rhonda. Oh, and a spinning neckbreaker, and Rhonda appears to be down. Oh, but Alexa Bliss not electing to go for the cover. Oh, but she's able to get back on top here. Bliss, oh, but it's reversed into a neckbreaker by Rhonda Rousey. Rousey going for the pin. Oh, but it's broken up by Becky Lynch before the count can even start. Becky now. Oh, and Rhonda slammed to the mat. And you can bet she's feeling the effects of that one. Thunderous knee to the face of Alexa Bliss as she rolls to the outside. Becky Lynch going for the cover on Rhonda Rousey. But a kick out after 2. Becky now. Big elbows to the forehead of Rhonda Rousey. Oh, but a leg sweep takes down Becky Lynch. Rhonda Rousey now sizing things up, but she does not see. Oh, but wait, she does. She's seen Alexa Bliss. A spinning neck breaker. Alexa pulling Rhonda in place, but she knew she had to eliminate Becky Lynch from the scene before she could hit anything. Oh, an Olympic slam. Alexa now going for a pin on Rhonda. Rhonda able to power out after just a count of 1. Bliss now. Oh, but she's taken down by Rhonda. Rhonda Rousey. Alexa Bliss on the top rope. Oh, and the rope to the neck. Rhonda going for the pin. But Alexa Bliss powers out after 1. Becky now taking a kick, or kicking Rhonda Rousey to the back. Going for a pin, but a kick out by Alexa Bliss. Becky now with a kick to the back of Bliss. Turning her attentions to Rhonda Rousey. Working on that arm. Could we see the disarmer coming soon? Becky continuing to work on that arm. But Rhonda Rousey able to power out. Rousey now. Oh, and she flips. Becky Lynch. Oh no, this could be an armbar. Becky Lynch able to power out though, but Rhonda going for a pin. And Rhonda Rousey, folks, your initial women's champion here on SmackDown. And Rhonda seemed pretty much in control for the majority of the matchup. She had an answer for both Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss here tonight. However, phenomenal efforts put forth by all 3 women involved in the matchup. A great match. And we now have a great champion to lead the women's division here on SmackDown. Rhonda Rousey, folks, she's here in the WWE and she's here to stay. She is our women's champion here on SmackDown. And while we have a moment here, we'd like to talk about the 6-man tag team match coming up on the next edition of Raw for the Raw Tag Team Championships. We have Sanity, Alexander Wolf, and Eric Young taking on the War Raiders. Rowan Hansen taking on the B Team, consisting of Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. So that should be a very exciting matchup coming up on the next Raw. Alright, and now it's time for our main event. We have a tag team showdown. The newly formed alliance of Dolph Ziggler and Drew McINTYRE looking to put their abilities to the test tonight against the Burr. Should be interesting to see if Dolph and Drew are able to outmaneuver. Should be interesting to see if Dolph and Drew can take down the tag team veterans in the Burr. And we will just have to wait and see. But it would be quite the impact of Drew McINTYre and Dolph Ziggler if they can capture the Tag Team Championships here in their first tag match in Universe mode. And of course, Triple H taking Dolph Ziggler and Drew McINTYre 22nd and 23rd respectively here in the draft. And if you look down a little further, Sheamus and Cesaro were taken 26th and 27th. So I guess some bragging rights may be on the line here in this matchup as well. Drew McINTYre in his second stint here in WWE, and Triple H obviously sees the value in the Scottish Psychopath. And here we go, we see the Burr, Cesaro, and Sheamus. These two have been tagging for quite some time now. They would love nothing other than to capture the Tag Team Championships here on the first episode of SmackDown here in Universe mode. And as I said before, a very successful tag team. And they don't just set the verb, they are the verb. But all jokes aside, Cesaro and Sheamus have to view themselves as heavy favorites here in this matchup. And we will see momentarily, once this matchup gets underway, Tag Team Championships on the line here on the SmackDown brand. As the ref raises the belts up high, we will see Dolph Ziggler start off for his team and Sheamus for his. Oh, but wait, what's going on here? Ziggler and McINTYre seem to be arguing about who's going to start. As Dolph sends McINTYre back into the corner. And things will get underway here. Sheamus slamming Dolph into the mat. And you can hear the fans chanting at Sheamus, telling him that he looks stupid. But whether they know it or not, it just adds fuel to the fire of the Celtic Warrior. Ziggler now tossing him into the corner, but Sheamus able to battle out with a big boot. Sheamus now bringing Dolph over to his portion of the ring. Dolph able to battle out though. And Dolph looking to take control. Oh, but Sheamus powering out with some elbows to the midsection of Dolph Ziggler. Oh, and Dolph tossing Sheamus up, and it looks as though Dolph will get the big man in, the Big Scott. Here we go. The battle of the UK. Drew McINTYre and Sheamus. Sheamus now tossing McINTYre over his head. And adding insult to injury with a couple of stomps. And you can see the fans are absolutely on the case of the bar here, as they are heavily booing Cesaro. And it doesn't appear as though Drew McINTYre is getting a much better response, as neither of these teams preferably liked by the universe. And we see another tag by Dolph and Drew as Dolph Ziggler brought back into the ring. Dolph now locking in a headlock. Could this be it? He elects to release the lock. Sheamus doesn't seem to be getting much offense in this matchup, as the new combination of Drew McINTYre and Dolph Ziggler. They really seem to be having quite the impact here. Sheamus unable to get to his corner as Drew McINTYre just relentless here. Oh, but Sheamus able to power out. McINTYre, oh, a thunderous clothesline. And just look at these quick tags by this new team. Oh, and Dolph Ziggler cocky as ever. Could this be costly? Allows Sheamus to get back to his feet. Sheamus now throwing Dolph Ziggler into the mat. Sheamus dragging him towards the middle. Stomp to the midsection as Sheamus finally able to tag in his partner Cesaro. The Swiss Cyborg. You can bet he's hungry to get in this matchup. But Dolph Ziggler able to toss him into the corner. Dolph now picking up Cesaro. Another toss into the corner. And it seems as though Dolph and Drew are completely dominating this matchup. And coming into the match, I didn't really expect to see that. The way that they are tagging in and out with great efficiency just seems like something you would expect from the Bar, but not so much from this new team. You see the strength of Cesaro there, just holding Dolph Ziggler up in the air before slamming him into the mat. Dolph now trying to get to his corner to make a tag, but Cesaro picks him up and tosses him into a corner with a running uppercut. Dolph now trying to get back to his feet. Oh, and knocks down Cesaro. Dolph Ziggler now dragging Cesaro to his corner. Dolph now another quick tag, and McINTYre back into this matchup. McINTYre stomping on the arm of Cesaro. And it doesn't seem like the fans are getting behind this matchup at all. Cesaro tagging in Sheamus. Once again, we have the two men from the UK. We have Scotland versus Ireland. Oh, but Sheamus with some vicious right hands to the forehead of Drew McINTYre. Drew McINTYre, though, able to battle out. Oh, but Sheamus with a reversal. Sheamus now tosses him into the corner. And we see another tag from the Bar. So the Bar. Uh-oh, here we go. White noise into a drop kick. Could this be it? But Drew McINTYre able to battle back to his feet. Cesaro now seems to be in control. He is locking in the sharpshooter. The sharpshooter locked in. Oh, but Drew McINTYre able to get to the ropes to break the submission move. And we see Dolph trying to get in and interrupt things. What could we have here? Oh, and Drew McINTYre sent flying into the corner. Oh, and here we go, a series of backbreakers going for the trifecta. Drew McINTYre in a world of hurt now, as the Bar seems to be getting on a roll here, going for a pin. And the Bar picks up the victory. I'm rather surprised, though, as Drew McINTYre and Dolph Ziggler really came into this match with a lot of aggression, some quick tags, but maybe they burnt out too early. The more veteran Bar able to maintain pace, and as the match went on, they got stronger. Well, it seemed as though Drew and Dolph tired. And we see the trifecta of backbreakers. And this is really what broke the back in this match. And you see Sheamus hooking the leg and picking up the victory for the Bear. And they are the inaugural SmackDown Tag Team Champions here in Universe Mode. And we will just have to see the fallout of this episode. The Bear Tag Team Champions, Rhonda Rousey, Women's Champion, and of course, Dean Ambrose, the Hardcore Champion. That is all we have tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Once again, if you enjoyed the show, give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and of course, be sure to tune in to Raw. We have that big 6-man tag match coming up for the Tag Team Championships. And don't forget, next week on SmackDown, we have Kevin Owens going toe-to-toe with Shinsuke Nakamura for the United States Championship. So, as I said, hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you next time. Have a great night, everyone.